Okay, the last session for this lecture called Naive Text Classification. Okay, for the naive text classification, all the classes and the labels are given as input. So um, there is no training example. So what we will have is we will have a collection of document D and also the list of labels or classes. So each document will have their own labels. So based on the algorithm, we try to associate one or more classes with each document that we have. So what do? We match document terms to the class labels. And we also permit partial matches. So we could also improve coverage by defining alternative class labels based on synonyms. So we will have a list of terms that carry the same meaning. So we can use that one as a reference. So for the direct matching for the text classification, what do? We will have a collection of document to for us to classify, and then we have a list of classes with their labels. So each document will be uh, represented by a weighted vector dj, and each class will have their own weighted vector also. So we use this one to label the document later on. So for each of the document that belong to the set of document, we will try to retrieve the classes that belong to any of the label that we given initially. So we will assign that class to that document depending on the similarity that we find between the document and also the class uh, weighted vector. So basically, this is what you have been doing in the lecture number 3, 4, and 5, in which we finding the distance between document and query. But in this case, we are looking at the document and also the class label. So for instance, given we have 4 documents here, and also we have 3 classes A, B, C, and for each of the classes we have labels. So what we need to do is for each of these document, we will measure the distance between this document with the labels that we have here. So we will use this similarity distance function. So this is actually a cosine function distance. So we will determine whether this document one belong to class A or B or C depending on the distance between the labels of A, B, and C. So we have studied how do we measure the distance between two texts or between documents and query. So we can apply the same concept here. So for each of these document, we can also label uh, by comparing the distance of each of these document with the labels here. So whichever labels that give you the nearest distance, we will assign the class label that we have here, A or B or C. So this one is quite straightforward, and this is what we call naive text classification. So in the next lecture, we will look into supervised algorithm, and for the unsupervised algorithm, we have looked into clustering, and also the naive text classification.